kisses, misses. Click, 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 click. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. Hugs, bougie kiss, mwah. Bougie kiss, mwah. Hi, guys. Oh my God, hi, y'all. Have you guys missed me? Hi, how are you? How have you been? I hope that you've been great because I know I have been. Just so we're clear, I do have on a dress, and I would love it if you guys would kind of let me know how the audio is in this video because this is a newer mic and it's a little bit of a sensitive mic. So if I could get some feedback, let me know because I'm gonna put my trust in it as of right now. But anyway, y'all, before we go any further, you already know what I'm about to say. If you would like one-on-one coaching with yours truly, be sure to click that link in the description box down to www.lawofassumptionprincess.com. And as always, for sure, now and forever, make sure that you read that disclaimer in full because it helps you out, it helps me out, and it just makes everything easier for the both of us. Thank you. Love you. Now let's jump right into it. Okay, you guys. You guys guess who I am? I'll give you a few seconds. I'm Sabrina Carpenter. I would hope that the hair would be like a dead giveaway, but yeah, I'm Sabrina Carpenter, and I think it's kind of like a serve. It's a little serve. But anyway, you guys, y'all, let's get into what I would like to talk about today. Drink of the day is water. Let's start with that. Drink of the day is water. I want to discuss this. I really want y'all to understand that like doing the law of assumption and like actively knowing about the law of assumption, meaning that you're applying it to your life in a favorable and loving manner for yourself. It really is. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. It's an honor. It's everything right with the world. It's a blessing. If I could put it in like layman's terms, right? But even more so, it's genuinely there to make your life easier. I have seen so many times, and I'm not judging because of course, at one point in time, this was myself, right? But I have seen so many people kind of forget somehow along the way that like the whole point of actively doing the law, applying the law to your life is to make it easier in every aspect. Like quite literally in every way, in every aspect that you could ever imagine, it is to make your life easier. So when you start getting hooked up and fixated on old stories, limiting narratives, such as like thinking that in order for your manifestation to transpire, you have to do something or you have to work towards something or take some type of specific action. In those moments, it's literally crucial to remind yourself that, wait a second, the law isn't saying that I have to apply stipulations to this. Like, this is what I really want y'all to understand. If you're applying the law, but you're making it difficult, you're not really applying the law in the way that you want to experience it. So the whole point is to do away with any of those limiting 3D narratives. So when you're thinking about something that you want to transpire, that you want to experience, think about it from the point of view of like, okay, and it's going to come to me easily because I know this law. I don't have to worry about the middle. I don't have to worry about the figuring out because it's going to come to me easily. And not only is it going to come to me easily because I know about the law and I'm applying it favorably, but I'm the exception. I am the exception. Like, get into the state of knowing and being that you are the exception to the rule. When you are the exception to the rule, you get special privileges, you get special treatment, you get special passes. And this could really be like if you're into states and you like thinking of things through like the concept of states, this will be like a great state to apply to continuously practice living and being in, because it really is essential, okay, in understanding that we're not playing by the small rule book anymore. Like, we're not doing that. We're not operating out of a limitations. We're not operating out of, moving on, but we're not operating out of that anymore because like, genuinely, you deserve to move like the person who is the exception, because now you're doing away with old programming. It's done. Bye. We don't have any space for it. We don't have any time for it. We don't have any interest for it. So it's like, what's the use in even like carrying it with you? If you're going to be the person that is the exception, because you are, you have to understand that everything that has to do with you, even your desires, because again, they wouldn't even matter if it wasn't for you. They are coming through, but you're the exception to them. You're the exception to them. If you start normalizing walking around being this person who just knows that no matter what, No matter what they see, no matter what seemingly transpires, no matter what circumstances, they are the exception. They're at the front of the line. They're the one that it always works out for, somehow, some way. Holding on to that point of view and that perspective and that state of being would push you so much further, because you're not looking for a reason as to why this is valid, a reason as to why this could work, a reason as to why it's you. It's just who you are. It's literally just who you are, because it's a shift in your self-concept. It's a shift in your consciousness. You're now residing and normalizing existing as this person in every aspect of who you are, in every facet of who you are. So you don't have to sit there. And I know it's like your brain is going to brain sometimes. Like your thoughts are kind of just going to thought sometimes. It's human nature. It's no big deal. But my point is, even if those thoughts come to the surface, as you, the creator and the person who is the exception, you don't have to be binded by them anymore. They don't have any ownership over you. You can look at them in the face. You can look at them in the face and decide that they are null and void and powerless. And I feel like sometimes when I say that you can just decide, people think that there has to be so much more to it. But the only reason that you're thinking that it has to be so much more to it is because you're not trusting yourself. You are not trusting your creative capability. You are not trusting your new story, okay? Because you've been like literally creating since day one. There's no reason why with this particular decision, whether you feel resistance towards it or not, that you cannot create and stand in a new story for yourself. You've been doing it on autopilot all your years, okay? So I just wanted to clarify that, because I know that sometimes when I bring up, you can just decide, y'all get a little anxious and y'all get a little scared. And I don't want any of that, because you're so much more above that, to the point where you can obliterate anxiety. You can obliterate negative thoughts. You can obliterate anything limiting that does not coincide with who you actually are. Okay. But no, like, and it's kind of like this, it coincides with entitlement. I've made a video about entitlement a long time ago, probably a long time ago at this point. I'm not going to lie. However, the case in point still stands that when you operate out of the exception state, I'm just going to call it the exception state for like the sake of this video, but like just seeing yourself as the exception, you will see the world start to coagulate with you. You will see yourself as you will see how the 3D it seemingly starts to morph for you, because again, everything is just an extension, a reflection of who you are and who you're being. So it's like, almost think about it as like, you know how your parents, or parents in general, typically aren't supposed to have a favorite child, right? But in some circumstances, some people might say that can still be the case, right? You have to start seeing yourself as the universe's favorite spoiled little child. The universe is always going to break you off, not a piece, but a fat slice of cake, a heavy fraction of that cake. You're the girl, you're the kid in the birthday party that gets the biggest slice of cake. Even when it's not your birthday, you're just lucky enough to be that person that goes up, and the person just so happens to be kind of heavy-handed on the knife and give you a big fat slice. You're the universe's spoiled little baby. What do mothers do with their little babies? Spoil the eternal hell out of them, okay? That is you in conjunction with the universe. See yourself as that. Like, and again, that's a good way to prompt it too. Like, ask yourself, if I genuinely, like, wholeheartedly knew that the universe not only had my best interest, but had my best interest and then some, like, meaning it's gonna give me an extra helping, an extra serving of whatever I want, some ice cream, hot fudge, bananas, perfect sundae, how would you show up? Because, like, I'm going to be honest with you, you wouldn't be permeating about, like, well, if I don't do this certain type of thing, it's not going to transpire. Again, that's not living in the law. That's not living in the true knowing of the law and the true essence of the law and the true nature of who you know yourself to be. So stop thinking about, oh, if I don't do cardio 50 million times a week, I'm never going to manifest my ideal figure. If I don't do 1,000,000 repetitions of my affirmations, I'm never going to manifest my ideal physical appearance. It all has to do with your identity and who you're telling yourself that you are. Those things could help, but when you get so fixated on how is it going to transpire, you're stifling yourself because you're focusing on something that you don't even have to focus on. All you have to focus on is the end result, because everything else is promised. So when you get focused, hyper focused and fixated on that middle, on how's it going to transpire, how's it going to work out, you're not really living in the nature and the knowing of the law. And if you do that, I'm going to bop you. Just saying. And that's a good rule of thumb. And maybe I'll make a video about this like a little bit more down the line and get more in detail about it. If y'all want it, let me know in the comments. But like, a good rule of thumb to me is if I am operating out of fear, lack, anything that is related to the regular 3D, I'm not doing the law right. Because the whole name of the game is so that this can make my life easier. If I'm not living in that knowing and in that ideology, I'm pretty much just back in the 3D. So what the fuck is the difference, right? So that is a good rule of thumb. If I start doing things or existing in a state that does not coincide and adhere to who I decided that I'm going to be, it's not really me operating out of my true self. It's not me really operating out of trusting the law. I'm just going back to like regular 3D nature. And I didn't do all of that just to go back to doing what never worked. Living by 3D rules, living by 3D limitations has never worked. So I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to continue to do this. All right. I feel like that was like a little bit of a ramble, but you know what? That's okay. Sometimes we need a good ramble, a good rah, just to like get that out and get that understanding stuck to our cranium. So I already know that that is exactly what this was for you. Okay. Anyway, you guys, I'm actually about to film another video for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Make sure that you follow me on all of my social media. Follow me on social media because when I'm not posting, okay, I'm on my socials. Follow every single one. Really make sure that you follow both of my Instagrams. But I'm always on TikTok. I'm always on Insta. I haven't been on Twitter that much, but I'm always on TikTok and Insta, okay? And until next time, you guys know that I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.